Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day. Hope you are all having an amazing day today. My name is Lex and welcome back to some more GTA 5, where today we're going to be checking out something a little bit different. We've been checking out way too many car mods and actually just a lot of the new cars from the latest update recently. I think we should have a little bit of a break from that and look at a script mod. Now you might be getting a bit wary about this one. This is going to be a sort of a changer in the way people tune cars in the same way V-Stancer was. And that's because it's a mod that allows you to create custom decals and place them in the game. And also allows you to place graffiti. You can basically put pictures of whatever sort of picture you want anywhere on any car within any part of the map of GTA 5. It's a pretty big one. There's a lot of really cool stuff we can do with this. We'll be checking out in just a second, but firstly, there's going to be some comments on the screen. These are comments featured from the previous video. If you would like your comments featured, you can leave them in the comment section below. I'll pick some at random and feature them at the start of the next video. And don't forget, you can also follow me on Twitter at Figureight. Links for my Twitter are in the description below. As always, I think I said that so much now that people ignore that part. Really, if you have Twitter, you can follow me. There'll be a link in the description below. So, you're probably wondering what I'm driving. You might be able to guess from this very basic looking interior. I am, of course, driving this Asea, and that's because what I can do with this mod, well, actually, you can do many things with this mod. Basically, this mod comes with a couple of different texture packs, and then you can add as many as you want on your own. You just have to go into Open4 and change some of the files around. And so what I've done is I've imported some rust textures because I want to try this out. I want to see if it's possible to make a cool rusty version of the Asea. This might not work out, but it's a test. But actually, before we do that, I should probably show you around the mod and how it all works. So let me just go ahead and hit F10 on the keyboard, and it comes up with this Decal 5 menu. So if we go to Draw, we now have here's all our textures. These are the rusty textures that I've installed. These are another set of textures. There's going to be quite a few links in the description below. Basically, people are starting to make some extra sort of like texture packs to go with this thing. So maybe in time, there'll be loads of really cool things that you can download to easily make your own car decals. This is sort of in a similar way to, like, you know, Forza and all that sort of thing, where you can sort of make your own skins for your cars, or, you know what I mean, make your own wraps and all that sort of stuff. Hopefully this will be the same thing, but for GTA 5. So these are all from a mod that I downloaded. Links for that will be in the description below. This one is called The Primitives. Then we have this one. This is another mod here. This is the multiplayer club graffiti stuff. And these two I've actually made myself. Those of you who know I like lore-friendly things, I've basically remade some of the lore-friendly things from GTA 3. So I've made the belly up texture and this Pets Overnight texture as well, which I got from an ad I found on the old GTA 3 website that I've remade in HD, so we can pop these down anywhere we want. Might stick these on a truck in a minute. Then we have these ones. These come with the mod, all these ones. These are just base graffiti style pictures going all the way through these. Basically, they're just taken from graffiti pictures elsewhere, and you can just plop them down into the game as you like. I've also decided to add a few sort of custom ones. I've got the Figureight logo here, and I've also got some pictures of my car that I can just stick on a building somewhere because, you know, I wanted to do that for some reason. It was just a picture I had on hand, to be honest. Then we also have this. This is a mod that basically adds all of these letters and numbers in this font. As you can see here, so you can actually make some writing. We've also got some numbers here. That was the character decal mod. I'm going to put a link for that in the description below. And we also have this one, which is a bunch of the artwork from GTA, all the classic ones. We've got Claude Speed there. We've got CJ, Frank Tenpenny, Michael DeSanta, Nico, Rocco, Ron, Ryder the Truth, Trevor 2, Trevor, Wade, and yeah, so you can chuck those in the game as well. So just to show you, let's just pick a random one. Let's just go for Claude Speed. Let's go back to GTA 3. And you spawn that in. And as you can see, wherever we look on the ground, you can see this decal. It looks a bit blurry as it goes through, but it doesn't matter. Once you set it down, it will be all nice and clear. And using the arrow keys, I can change the size. If I hold shift, I can do it a bit quicker. And we can also rotate it around. And the interesting thing is it saves these into the world, and so long as you leave them there, you can go ahead, you don't even have to save the game. You can just close your game, open it up, and these will be back in the game. So we could actually tag this on this touchdown building right there. Should we do that? Right there? That is looking pretty cool. Press enter. There we go, enter again, and that's now confirmed, and that is now in the world. Just like that. Now, of course, we want to get rid of that. I don't know why you want to, because actually I think that looks really cool. But if we go down, hit F10 again, go to the menu, go to Existing Graffiti Manager, And as you can see, we've got Claude Speed, which is currently on New Empire Way, which is where we are right now. And we can also teleport to it if we're somewhere else in the world. There we go. That'll bring us, into the building. That's a bit off. Or we can just delete and it's gone. So that's how you add things to the world. Cars are pretty much the same affair. So let me just go to draw. And let's just go down to this rusty stuff so we can go ahead and stick some rusty stuff on the assayer. Okay, so what I should probably do for another video if we're going to do any more of this, I should probably get some more textures that work so we can like cover the car in a rough texture first. This one might work. I don't know, there's definitely a worn texture that GTA uses that we could apply ourselves to these cars, but I think for now we can go for some moss. Should we go for some moss? How would this look if we made this really big on the car? Okay, so it's really hard to tell when you've got it like this because it's sort of flickering and flashing. Also, by the way, is it goes by panel. So as you can see, it's only doing this side of the car. If we want to get to the bonnet, we have to sort of go around. There we are on the front bonnet and the front bumper. And I guess if we wanted to do the roof, how would we do that? I don't know, but this is how we get to the rear bumper. And I think, there we go, we had the boot as well. Can't seem to get up onto the roof, though. I do wonder if it can work the same doing this. No, it can't. Okay. Right, I don't know how to stick things to the roof. We're going to have to figure this out. It's a brand new mod. I'm sure we'll learn it over time. But for now, let's just go ahead. Let's make this a little bit smaller so we can see what we're dealing with here. There we go. Now we can see the moss texture a bit better. Should we just like do this like along the top there like that? We have to try and get it rotated as best we can because I can see there's a bit of that. I don't know if we can actually zoom in on what we're looking at there. Oh, it does actually work here. Ah, so maybe you just can't add it to the roof yet. Okay, right, that's just how it is. Yeah, it's kind of awkward to get that close. Maybe some cars are going to work better than others. But let's just, for now, get that rotated and enter. And that's now going to add this mossy texture to the assayer. Obviously, you can probably find better textures than this because I'm definitely noticing some lines there on the end. And yeah, for some reason, it's not attaching to this top part. Yeah, that might actually class as the roof inside of this mod. I don't know. But there we go. We've got some moss. Now, if you go around to the other side, you might notice that it's not there. And that might be cool. Maybe you only wanted to have this texture on one side. Maybe you wanted to detail it all sort of separately, going around the car, adding things in. But we can mirror the textures on this car. So let's just go back to the menu. Saved vehicle decal outfits. And as you can see, we've got the assayer here. And we can apply a name, because currently it's unnamed. But for now, what I want to do is go to the decal list, go to this texture, and now you can actually change things like the red, green, and blue values. So we can also change the color somewhat. There we go. We can actually take some of the green values out and make it look a bit more red if we wanted to. I don't know. Maybe you get like with those primitive colors that we got that are just shapes, you can place them in and then color them afterwards like this. You can also alpha value them, which basically just makes them fade down. And we can drop down the alpha to 0. Now, as I've done this, I don't know what I've done, but listen to the sound. Hear that clicking? It's basically trying to put everything down. If I go to another one, it's going to go to 0. I don't know what the hell is going on right now. There's something stuck somewhere, but it's not a keyboard because I've disconnected my keyboard. Okay, everything's breaking. Everything's breaking. Abort, abort. Well, I guess it wouldn't be a Figureight video if we didn't have a crash or something break at least once in the video. Right, now we're back in the game. I'm not going to go back to where we were. We're fine here. Let's just pull up here, and let's try this again. Okay, actually, now that I'm going through, I just realized what the bug was. If I hold shift and use the numpad and let go, you will see that actually I'm not pressing any buttons right now. It just goes through, but if I hit the arrow keys, it does actually stop. So that was all it is. It's just a little bug with the mod. I'm sure that will be figured out at some point. So let's just get this moss back on the car. And actually, let's stick it on the bottom half perhaps now. So I'm just going to make this a little bit smaller. And we're going to rotate it round. And sadly, it doesn't go all the way to the bottom again. But for whatever reason, it'll be fine. Let's just go ahead and hit enter. And there we go. We've now placed the decal. So as I wanted to show you was to mirror this texture onto the other side of the car. So we're going to go back to our old assayer. Actually, let's just delete that outfit and start with the new one again. So let's just go to the decal list, and we have this decal stain right here. And we can go to mirror this decal. So we just go over to the other side. We can hit mirror, and well, we get this that doesn't really look right. That's because this is a basic mirror. We can then select mirror 2, which is actually mirrored identically. The only problem is this has been rotated slightly for this side, so this one has then been rotated. You can see it's sort of similar, I guess. Is that right? I guess that is right. Yeah, that's mirrored pretty much identically. Then we can also have another one, which is the flipped version. And then we also have another flipped version there. So you can mirror them in 4 different ways onto the other side of the car. And actually, surprisingly, this rust stuff is not working, at least with the Assayer. Maybe another car this would work better with. Okay, I spawned the Roosevelt Valorian. Seems we really don't look at this car enough. I don't think we've ever done a video modifying this thing. But I'm just curious because this one doesn't really have any liveries or anything that goes with it. So I thought that maybe adding our own would be pretty fun. Again, I don't know if any of these rusty ones are going to work. Let's try this texture right here. Let's see, this one doesn't really show as much. But if we make this really big, like that, and then we move it around, maybe rotate it a bit to get that a bit better fitting, hit enter, and, well, that sort of looks like dirt. I guess maybe, I don't think these textures are going to work that greatly. I think my initial idea of making a rat car is going to look a little off, perhaps. I mean, there you go, you can see, we can rotate that in any way. We can get that sort of half looking right. I mean, if you play around with this enough, I'm sure you can get a decent looking rusty or dirty effect going with this thing. We could just go for one of these other rusty textures, and I think we're going to have to rotate that one around. There we go. It's quite hard to see, actually, where it flashes as well. There's a lot of, like, flickering going on. Some of these textures sort of flicker and look weird, and others don't. I don't know what that's about. But there we go. We can have that rust. That's not supposed to go to any edge. We can just plop that in right there. See, now that one looks a little better. Maybe it's just a case of we need to find some better textures, although I'm definitely sure that's supposed to be like really thick metal, like on a big thick door or something like that. I don't think paint for this car would flake like that and have the rust underneath, but that definitely looks a lot better than this one and that one. And there we are, look. Rusty texture on the side. So there we go. That one does actually work. And of course, we can jump in this car. And as you can see, all the doors are mapped perfectly to work with this. So we can just go to vehicles. Let's go to door control. And you can open the door. Look at that. It actually takes into consideration the doors for the textures. That's amazing. We can also go around to the other side. How about that? And it doesn't have any sort of weird textures on the inside or anything like that. It's kept all to the outside of the car. This is really well done. I don't know how they do it, but this is pretty amazing. And as you can see, we can drive this around with all the rust and the decals on it absolutely perfectly. So, of course, we can go ahead and save this. We can give this a name. We can give this, let's go to change outfit name and put Rusty. And as you can see now in our save section, we got the Rusty, and we can spawn it in as we want. Just like that. And also, by the way, when we got this menu up, you can see where all the textures are in the game with all the names and all the coordinates as well. Just so you can see where all the decals have been placed. Now, I just want to check if we got a vehicle that wasn't this. Let's, for example, go ahead and grab this little mini over here. I just want to see what happens if we get into this and go to apply vehicle. Maybe we can only do this when we're inside a Roosevelt. That might be a thing. Okay, so I spawned in a stock Roosevelt. So I could now go and apply to vehicle. That's an interesting one. So that apply to vehicle does not seem to work, but at least spawn vehicle with outfit does work, as you can see right there. And we can spawn in a bunch of them and I guess blow them up. That's probably the best thing you can do. There we go. Oh look, that texture used on that looks better. Maybe we can find a burnt texture in the GTA files and then use that instead. Yeah, that looks a bit more suited now. But interestingly, I've blown it up and the textures are still there. Fantastic. Right, so let's stop playing with these rusty ones and let's just try and see if we can't make a nice little graphic with a random car. So let's just grab this, shall we? We're going to drive down here, park up, and let's park up right here next to the fire station. And let's go to draw, and let's try these shape ones, because these are pretty simple. I'm sure we can make something out of these. In fact, let's try this. Let's go for the star, and I'm going to shrink that down. We can also rotate it. The rotation's a little bit off. It would have been nice if we could have sort of selected... I don't know, that doesn't look straight. This is what I'm trying to say. I don't know if that is done in, like, equal increments, so that that would be dead straight. Maybe it is, but I feel like the rotation needs something else to it. But I don't know, that's just me. So we can place this star on the side In fact, let's just do it on the front door. Right there. There we go. I actually clicked that time instead of pressing enter. But we can then press enter to confirm. And that's it. So obviously you press it once and that's sort of like, do I like that there? If not, you can go back. I'll show you that. So I can place this down. And I go, oh, I don't like that there. I'll press cancel, backspace. And then it puts it back to as it was before. So we can then select another place to put it. So actually, let's just go back out of this one. We don't want to use this one. I want to go for the circle outline. And I want to have a nice circle out. There we go. Do you see what I'm doing here? This is supposed to be like a sort of military badge. I wonder actually if we use this camera mode. See, this is a bit better because now we can zoom in and get this a little bit more accurate. Sadly, because we have to do this from like Michael's perspective, it's a little bit... See, now that we're zooming in, I can't see what I'm doing at certain parts. Let's just go for that. Yeah, that sort of works. And now, let's just go ahead, go to the jackal, and let's go to the decal list. And I want to place that on the other side. See, it's upside down, but then we could do that one. Now it's the right way up. And then on the other one, yes, there we go. Now we've got that on both sides. How about that? So now, what should we do? Let's just go to draw. I feel like I want to add a texture again. I'm just so addicted to texture. Here we go. What about this really rough looking texture of rust here? Actually, for some reason, in this car, I can't seem to see the textures appear. No? Oh, okay. I know why. It's because I can see with this white one a bit better. It's just incredibly small. Yeah, that would be why. So let's just go for that. Yeah, that would be why. It was just super small. So we can make that a bit bigger. We've actually got a really weird border to this texture, so this might look a bit off. But we can just go for some of that. On the side, maybe rotate that a bit. That might look a bit off. Place that down. Yeah, we've got like a weird border on this texture. Definitely not perfect. Let's try a different texture. There you go. We'll try that one. Along there. Enter. Like that. Yeah, that'll work. That's not too bad. And we'll place that in. Oh, it actually goes over. Oh, I wonder if we can order these. Let's just go to unnamed, go to decal list. There doesn't seem to be a way to move them up and down the layers. That might be something that will have to come out in a future update because I don't think that functionality's there yet. But whilst we're here, we might as well go ahead and add the rust to the other side just to make it nice and even though we don't have to. There we go, mirror 2. So now that's done. In fact, let's just go ahead and name this one. Change outfit name. Let's just call this Rusty Army. And now, let's just jump back into the vehicle. I just want to change a few more things on it. I want to go to vehicle options. Want to go to menus, customs. And I just want to go down to paints. And I want to make this. Let's go to matte. And there we go. Now it looks a little bit more military. Look at that. That is a completely custom thing that we would never been able to do before. At least in-game, you could have made this in Photoshop, pull it in or whatever. But you can see this live. You can make this as you go in the game, as you feel. That is so amazing. And we could also add our own dirt level, which is stock with the car anyway. Although I have a feeling, does that not work now? That might even be... interesting. Interesting. There's no dirt level when we use the custom textures. Interesting. Or is it there? Oh no, I can see it slightly. It's still there. Just, yeah, I was expecting a little bit more on the sides. But never mind. That's still cool. And actually, whilst we're here, seems that we can make this a nice fun build using some extra mods. Let's go for wheels. Let's go for off-road. Let's make some off-road wheels. There we go. Absolutely perfect. Go to V-Stancer. Make the wheels big. A bit bigger like that. A bit wider like that. Pop them up a bit more. Front and rear. Get all the collisions right. And then go to the suspension. There we go. Look at that. Front track width out a little bit. Rear track width out a little bit. And there we are. Is a full custom car using V-Stancer. And also using Decal 5. Oh my god, this is amazing. This mod can definitely add a whole new level to cars that we build in the future. Perhaps once I get used to this. Maybe I won't get used to it. Maybe we won't use it too often. But for those of you who are artistic, this is the mod for you. I did say I was going to rebuild the old belly up trucks, didn't I, from GTA 3. So I guess we'll do that to end the video. Let's spawn in a new truck. Okay, I spawned some different mules in. I've noticed that some of them have already got the graphics on the side that I don't think we can change. But this one is blank. So this one is going to be perfect. So let's just go ahead and drive off. So what I want to do to this, I want to go to paints. And I want to make this the same sort of belly up colour that we had in the past. So we're going to have to go ahead and find that colour. It's in the blues. Oh, actually that light blue straight away might be the one. Oh no, nautical blue is sort of similar. Surf blue's a little bit too light. Diamond blue, harbour blue, marina blue. See, they're quite similar as well. Because I think there was actually a couple of different shades. There was like a green and a blue, wasn't there, on the old belly up ones? I think this one or the light blue is going to work. I'm going to go for light blue. Let's jump out. Let's go to F10. Let's go to draw. And now we just need to go ahead and find my lore-friendly graphics section. Okay, here it is. Belly up graphic. Oh, look at this. Now we can make... Oh, by the way, it's kind of awkward that we're using Michael to view this, because as soon as Michael moves a bit... Yeah, did you see that just there? It makes the graphic move, and also when the car moves in front of the camera, it is a little bit awkward, especially if we use this one, because as soon as I want to rotate the thing, it rotates the camera. Yeah, we definitely need some sort of like free view version of this, but there we are, right there. Get that sort of lined up. I think that's about right. And place down, and look at that. We now have the belly up from GTA 3, the belly up trucks, in GTA 5. We can also now go to Mule, go to decal list, and we can go ahead, and we should be able to get that looking nice. Oh, look at that. On the other side as well. That is so cool. That is so cool. I love this thing. And actually, just to finish, why don't we stick a Figureight logo on the bonnet, if we can, or actually maybe on the door, because I think that's probably going to fit a little bit better. There we go. We'll stick that. Get that perhaps a little bit smaller. Right there. Enter. Oh, nice. And maybe on the ground. Let's just do this on the ground for funsies. See, by the way, let's just get like a random letter, by the way. Look, you could just put it on the ground, on the road, or anything. You could spell something out in the road if you wanted. You could perhaps download some graphics to change the arrows of the road for fun. I don't know. Maybe this would work really well for filmmaking, although I'm not sure how these decals would look if you were to put these into the movie maker. Let's grab a picture of my car here. Seems like I'm like that. And there we go. We can rotate that. Make that super big. Oh my god, look at that. In fact, let's just do this on the wall over here, shall we? Oh, and rotate that round. It's got like a weird sort of thing in the middle of it, but... Whoa, sun, hello. But once we place it, and there we are. Look at that. There is actually a nice... That is a really high quality picture. Look at how detailed that is. If you've got a high quality detailed texture, you can place it in and get them in full high quality. Look, there's my car. There's my real life car. Well, that is amazing. I'm absolutely in love with this mod. There are so many possibilities. Any of you watching this video who has got the PC version, go ahead. I'm going to put a link in the description below for this mod, and also put links in the description below for all the extras, all like the shapes and all these sort of things. And you can go ahead and you can make your own textures. Maybe you can make your own texture pack, and you can upload them to GTA 5 mods, and maybe in another video I'll end up using them. I don't know, you'll have to see. You can tweet me pictures if you make any cool cars with any cool designs using this mod. I would love to see them. But there we go. That's it. And also, if you do actually end up making a texture pack, let me know. I'd love to check it out. Maybe not in a video, but just in general, I'd just like to see what sort of stuff you guys would make. But there we are, from me, in the belly up truck in GTA 5. This is so awesome. I'll see you guys all next time. Goodbye.